I don't know how I looked at the same video, same little baby elephant around the same pool of water with different narration to it. First, alligator ate it. I'm good, Army. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I got a little headache though, but it's all good. It's no big thing. Shout out to King Sis. Y'all don't know her music. Go ahead, find her page. Check out her music, y'all. I started playing some of her music on my channel back in 2019. And she's really a great artist, continuing to try to get her foot wet out there. But I'm feeling her. I love her music. And she had just dropped a new song yesterday, I think 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God, keep pushing, King Sis. Keep pushing, right? And I was just so astounded because she replied back. And she was like, well, thank you. And that's because I'm always responding when I see her push her new music out here. But I think that she can use a whole lot more supporters behind her. I like her music. Check her out. King Sis, y'all. Kingsis. What's going on, Gartan? What's going on? So, what are you guys out there getting filled up with? I've been like, I'm working, but I'll click on every now and then when I need to take a break from looking at the computer screen. I'll change directions. But today I got a freaking headache. I don't know, maybe I went to bed too late. But oh my God, I think the time line out here on everybody's phones or computers or TVs is about this massive shooting with this darn boy Tyler and you know uh, Charlie Kirk. And oh my God, I think maybe that's what gave me a headache because it's so many sides of people operating with their narratives. You want me to show my face? You need to show your face. If I drop the link, will you show your face? You have to drop. I'll drop the link, and then you can show your face. But what is my face? Oh, my face right here. It's right here. Where's yours? Huh? Where's yours? So I'm here. I'm a real person. I'm a real person. Just got a headache. But yeah. So show my face. Showing my face don't do any good. Not on YouTube. You know, you either gonna stick around or you don't. Sometimes they tell you that it's not in the face. It's the message that you should be listening to. But yeah, how you doing, Melody? Melody. Yeah. So, but I was listening to that, y'all, and it's just wild out there. It's wild because the situation occurred, and it's like, oh my God, everybody has something to say now. Every single body, you know. Hello, sweetheart. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, I think that's what I just kind of went to bed a little too late last night, and now I'm kind of prepared for it. So I'm a little tired, but I will survive. So, but I won't be here too much longer today. I think I'm gonna leave a little bit earlier today, and I'm still working on. I just sit here and do my paperwork or whatever till I feel like going out on the floor and seeing what's going on out there. But since I was sitting here, let me check in and see how people are coping and dealing and doing, who's ignoring it, who's embedded with it, and all of that stuff, you know, over there on the X. I mean, I just, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's like, I know that there's way more people um, than I that get so embedded into a story, you know, connect themselves so close to a story, you know, where it makes you feel some type of way, and then it also pushes you to get involved, you know, kind of like what I did, you know, with the R. Kelly situation, right? But then, you know, reality sets in when you realize that, okay, there's only so much that you can do, where you have to fall back because there's so much, you know, that can take a toll on you and things. So it's like, but I'm watching this whole Charlie Kirk thing. You had people that come out and have something to say pertaining to the wife. They had some things to say pertaining to how they were against this Charlie Kirk's movement, or how they are for, you know, the movement. I don't know. With me, I know that there's a wrong way with doing life, but I also know that there's a right way with doing life with the cards that you are dealt. You know, it's like spades. You know, you get rid of, or deuces wild. You learn to get rid of all of the cards that don't help you, that don't benefit you at all, and you keep the cards in your hand that, you know, helps you become a winner in the game. It's kind of how I look at my life. You know, I get rid of all of the stuff that I know that just doesn't benefit me. But it's everywhere, Sheila. This is everywhere. And I'm like, it's crazy. Now, I see some people, and mainly they are, I'm going to say it, they're black folks. And the black folks are benefiting, you know, on monetization for their shows and stuff. People you never even seen talk about, you know, this person, and now it's like, I mean, this is with pretty much anybody, or when a big story runs out here, and this is for all content creators, every single one, you know. We find these stories. I don't even know. Sometimes it doesn't even feel right, though, Sheila. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when it just don't feel right, it's like, let me back up, because I don't know, you know, what God is thinking, or how I'm going to pay the price for something that I probably shouldn't be doing. And if I get that feeling that I shouldn't be doing this, then I back up, because there's a whole lot of things that I choose to not make money off of. And I think, you know, when I'm listening to this Charlie Kirk message, right, and it's like accountability, right? And we have to stop making excuses. But YouTube, respectfully, I get it. This is, they open the doors. And I'll say that again. I don't, Jaden, did you even hit the like button before I give you a shout out And I'm going to go check because I'm on my other phone too. So I'll be able to see. And did you subscribe, Jaden? See, you want me to shout you out, but what did you do for the channel? For me to shout you out on the channel, which you're already on the channel, you know? But these, it's like part of the assignment order of life. You know, we wait for someone else. This is how YouTube organization is, right? You wait for something to drop or whatever, and you find a way to, capitalize off of it. And granted, it's like there's part of it that I get, but then there's this part where I'm just totally confused about it. And like I said, is this the part where Charlie Kirk message, one of his many of messages, is talking about, go get it by any means necessary. Well, anyways, I was watching this one channel. I'm trying to find it too, you guys, right? And I promise you, you say, do I like him? One, two, three, my honest opinion, because I am a black woman, right? But just so we get it clear, I never took it personal about a lot of things that he says because it didn't affect me and it didn't benefit me at all. However, when I first started watching him, when he started formulating that the circle of college students, right? And I used to sit there on the couch watching these students race up there, to get into that chair. And then they would have so many seconds before the buzzer go off, and then the next person would go. So that's what caught my attention to, not so much pretty, but of this Charlie Kirk. So I didn't dig into his background to see how he surfaced, how he created into this person. All I know is I remember liking the questions that was in the dialogue, right? And hearing these college students being able to be transparent and develop their opinion about a specific question that Charlie would ask and back and forth. That's what draw me to that show, right? Of the agree to disagree debates, right? Whether if it was on political, social, or economic. Every time he would come on, I would be right there. I'm like, let me see what they're doing today, right? And I'm watching and studying all of the emotional traits amongst different characters that people that would come up there, right? So you can kind of say, well, okay, that's an anger trait, oh, that's a happy, oh, that's a calm trait, or that's a delusional, or so on and so forth. So that's pretty much when I first heard of this Charlie Kirk guy. So yesterday, yesterday you went to go change your profile. Really? You came here. See, the funny thing about over here, you guys can do whatever you want to do because I don't have that mindset where anything affects me at all. Like, at all. But let me go back to my story to one, two, three. So I was watching all of that, and I kind of like that. One, a lot of the questions were knowledgeable. They were spitting knowledge, stuff that I didn't even know about. I actually do my CFC fund, and it goes to the Cancer Foundation. So I only do two of them that I've been doing for quite some time, and that's the cancer for the children, and I think the other one that I do is mental illness something of foundation. So I do donate for that, you know. So well, thank you, Jake, because you know what? You don't really have to see me. No, you don't have to see me. Anywho's right. Will cancer affect you? I don't know. I don't know. But I was saying, I was watching, a few channels that come on, and there's this black guy. I saw two black guys that are on that show, and they're mean too. They're mean. If they are for Charlie Kirk. You know, you can't ask these particular type of questions because you will get YouTube jumped, right? And everybody loves the blocking. You can get the F on and blah blah blah. You know, that tells me a lot about a person, especially if you're running a dialogue and you have an open chat, but you only want to um, you only want people to focus on pretty much of what you're saying. But I think that when people do open up their chats and you are humble at and agree to disagree, then just stay humble with it. I don't think it should make you upset because of your feelings towards another person that individual is opposed to, you know. But just I'm seeing that today, and it's weird, right? However, you know, like I say, these are people that probably never even spoken on this man at all. But I watched these two guys, right? And I'm listening. I've been following pretty much a little bit of the story in the mornings once I kind of leave out the house in the morning. I don't go back to something that, you know, that's just broadcasting all day, all day, all day. If I heard it once, I'm like, well, okay. But when I tell y'all, these guys, these two individuals that are on their shows, like right now, is literally like y'all getting paid for being angry. Y'all being paid for what? But I understand that this is the, you know, sometimes the type of support that we have out here. You know, people will pay for a person to show, you know, their feistiness in them and how they respond to people. I even seen a person drop like $200 just to say that, yeah, those people are ignorant. Now, granted, I don't know anybody's financial stance, but I can clearly tell you that now these are the people that were for uh, Charlie Kirk, right? And I'm not saying it's okay to give, it's okay to support, but I think he clearly had a message also. How do you become successful if you're doing, you know, just ignorant stuff like that? You want to, what? Okay, now I'm going to give you probably $5 or $10 just for your show, you know, to help you out. But am I going to take away from me so much to reach that millionaire stats that I, you know, is trying very hard to get to? I weigh that all in, you know, but I get it. People give according to what they can give, and it don't hurt them, and then that's fine too. But when you're doing it in a for a ignorant matter, yeah, I was like, really? You know, I mean, at least say something sensible with your two. I don't know. It was crazy though. But I was watching that. Then this other guy, these people will pour out the sympathy of their life on you. It's crazy. So he also put a message out. Now, mind y'all, now this is a guy that is opposed of Charlie Kirk, right? Now, he's over there and is working for him, right? We usually do what works for you, right? He's opposing to a lot of stuff that Charlie Kirk preaches, right? But yet then he's running a show on it, and in the midst of running his show and pointing out some of the views that Charlie Kirk was pointing out here, and mainly about accountability, mainly about how the men, what did he say? The men, this is Charlie Kirk phrase, and I'm not doing it verbatim, but the men, he says, needs to be at home, married, with children. Bring, hold on, you guys. Well, why the hell did you come here anyway?
Because I don't like working with him. But now he doesn't really go around doing anything. He's just an inspector, so I would be doing all the work.
Alright. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, probably not. Just fucking better change my schedule.
Yeah, close the door, babe.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So you say First Timothy, second, no, 2:12. Let me see what that says. Let me see. I don't know all the scriptures by heart, so. But when I tell you that this guy, okay, so let me see. Wait a minute. Okay, so that's 5 through 11. You said 12. So when I tell you that this guy, hi Timmy, hi, is like literally over there, right, mixing his private life with the message that he clearly missed with Charlie Kirk put out, right? Charlie Kirk, one of the message or questions that he asked, his group of questionnaires that was coming up, right, was how is it or why is it that black men are not in the home married or and with the wife or the girlfriend or whatever and raising children. It's like that is the way to peace and being happy out here in this world, right? So now this guy, mind you, I want to read the First Timothy 2:12 when I get to it. I'm still searching because it stopped here, right? But thanks for that scripture, brother. Okay, so when I tell y'all that he's okay. I'm homeless. I'm in a van. He flips his camera around. See, you don't believe me? Here's my covers. Here's this. This is a black guy, right? He turns the camera around. I have no gas. My what is the other light that tells you that you need, I don't know, the engine light is on. Yeah, the engine light, right? And all of this. So then he puts all of this on these people, right? And I'm sitting here like, dude, did you just not hear the message that that Charlie Kirk kind of relied on with putting knowledge out here to the men. So he must have missed that part of it. This is, mind you, he is also opposing against some of the views that Charlie Kirk had. But yet then, you're sitting right here and kudos, whatever, begging your butt off, right? So then a question came up in the comments saying, well, why don't you, get a job? He ignored that. Totally ignored it. Went to cussing the comments out. And you do what you want and you don't have to do this and do this because you missed the message. So, and unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with those people in society. However, that is when you get to make the decision whether if you want to stay broke with those kind. You understand what I'm saying? It's okay. Once a week, because I believe in blessings, right? In the direction that I come to work, there's always a different person on the corner at the light. That's where they get you at when you in when you're not moving. That's where they get you. They got all the traffic there, right? So, but I don't mind. I probably do $5 a week. It'd be a different individuals, but I don't do it because of me looking at them of being in the situation that they're in. I do it because at that moment, that's what my heart is telling me to do. And I also know somewhere in the scripture it says, help your neighbor. Help your neighbor. So at that time, with me sitting at that light, these are my neighbors, right? So I do it. And I don't feel bad about doing it at all, but I also know that I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be well taken care of. I'm gonna be okay. But I'm looking at this brother, and then I go back and I'm listening to the Charlie Kirk message about accountability and where the men should be, to bring you prosperity, you know, for life. And there he is right there, just one of the proteges of exactly what he's speaking on, you know. And I get it, you know. Some of us have to put that right hand out and ask others for a little bit of help, which I call a jump start, right? But the problem that I have is if you continue to give, for example, when I do pull up to that red light, and I know that it's more than me that then passed you on a buck or two or this or that, and you back out here every week for the last 5 years, and I still notice you, yeah, you're not taking that accountability to try to do better so that you don't have to depend on so many people to keep trying to help you rise above the water that you're drowning in. So I pay attention to that, but I'm willing to bet y'all that this brother, when a hot story drop, he gonna be right back out here doing the same thing. I don't have anything against panhandlers. What I do have against is a person that continues to have, hey sweetheart, the same drowning, sympathetic, just sad story over and over and over and over again. Over and over again. Now, because of a community that I started off in, right, I still peep around in that community. And I'm not going to say no name on this one, right? But it's happening right here in this community. There is a young lady does her content quite frequently, if not 4, 5 times a day. You know, you say, what is with this chat? I get my trolls in here every now and then. So right now, they're doing okay. Nobody's being pretty terrible right now. So I have had no problem with anybody. So whoever the Charlie Kirk is, I just answered his question and he hadn't moved on. So, but they are not bothering me right now. But and so I watched this lady. I've watched this lady for many, 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 many years, right? And it's one day she's happy. She's flamboyant. She's laughing. She's this. She's thanking everybody and blah, blah, blah. But the minute that there is a situation that occurs, which is often, now it's, just down in a dump energy. It's, oh, I need your help energy. It's, oh, you see, I'm like, what? It's the mixed emotions is just too much. And I'm like, you know what? Mm-mm. Every time that we go through some things in life, it's not every time that you need to go to your neighbors. Now, I don't know what happened to falling on your knees and praying about it, but there's a lot of people that has gotten away from it. I am a walking testimony. I can tell you, you know, right? I ain't in church every day. I'm not picking up the Bible every day, but my belief in my heart is strong enough for me. And I try my damnedest to follow the 10 Commandments, right? I try. Oh, I be on TikTok. I'm trying to get over there on TikTok. TikTok is a little, oh, it's a lot of work, girl. I'll be like, oh, you got to press this, you got to do this, you got to go over here, you got to get these subscribers. But I'm over there. I'm trying to get my subscribers up over there. So, but I'm over there. However, scrolling through the videos over there, honey, will give you a headache too. But so, um, that's my dialogue. That's how I get through life. I fall on the one that I truly know, can hear my prayers, and if I'm going through some things, and then I just wait. But in the midst of me waiting, do you know that I am now taking care of something else while I'm waiting on, for an answer or something to be sent, spiritual, whatever, to say, to tell me how to handle that situation. And I don't recall at all, or maybe it's not my destiny. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't think I ever recall a time where, God or Jesus Christ would send me to go beg for money. I don't think it's not a pride thing, but I think that I be trying to figure it out, right? I think it's because of me taking the accountability and also being a doer, DOER, right? I just put it all on me and go do it and go figure it out. But then when I come on here and I was like, they make it look so easy, but I have some in my heart that just won't be like, hey, listen, unless, I tell y'all it's dollar for pap day. And, a dollar goes a long way with me. But I'm just saying, I be seeing it like it's the highs and the lows. It's the one. I was like, what is this? I am so confused. Let me change that. I get so confused a little bit with humanality, right? And spirituality mixed together. Because everybody gives you this mixed message on what God they serve. And I'm like, well, yeah. So I learned, hi, Alina. I learned how to get past that too. And I was like, nope, just mind you, mind yours. So I had to learn to get past that too, because I was like, what I thought they said under, one name, and we serve under one God, but these people out here, it's got to be a whole lot of gods. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? Mm. But I saw that today, y'all, and I was like, I mean, you can't help who people are, but just know that it's going to happen, right? And I'm watching this guy, and I'm willing to bet this boy ain't paid no attention to no dang on Charlie Kirk up until this tragic has happened. Now, boy, it don't appear that the car just broke down yesterday. Seemed like he been riding in it all of this damn time. Now it's, oh, let me tell the people about my car, and I don't have no gas, and he don't have a job either. He could at least said that, well, I've been searching for a job. I just have not been successful at getting one. He could at least done that before he, chose to put out what he chose to put out. And not for it to be a funny situation, but I be sitting back here cracking up, y'all. I'll be like, really? But what do I say about the people that has that hard? I'm trying to understand these people. Are we just, I don't know. But if you would take a look into Charlie's Kirk biography, right? His diary of finance, yeah, 12 point something million. You can look into these comments on all of these freaking channels of these people that are either bitter about the situation or saddened about the situation, but or the ones that are happy. And there's like, I'm willing to bet half of the majority of these people, like, 12, the man is worth 12 point some million. The man is rocking and was rolling. We're talking about financially. His wife is going to be forever okay financially. Financially forever okay. Hi, Linda. They are, what has it got? Three mansions? Bought one, sell one. 5 point something million. All of the production that's going on that he was involved in that, and who knows what the life insurance policy, is, right? And I'm not saying that just to, look inside of that world. I'm saying that to reiterate and jump off the back of Charlie's Kirk message. Accountability. How do we get there? Why are we not there? We're not there because mainly we focus on some of the wrong things, in life. And maybe that's just a human natural behavior that we do or whatever. But his message is like, well, when are you going to sit and analyze where you are? How you doing, Linda? Where you going? What you want to be? How you going to get there? Draw it out, blueprint it up, tag it, and go get the money. But with our culture and other cultures, I'm going to say with cultures, right? Different ethnics and races of people, right? You know, we tend to fall back on, no, they're not hiring. Now, I do have a problem with that one. When I heard Charlie Kirk speak on how many, people are not working, whether you're black or you're white or whatever. And I did hear him speak on how that reading his statistics, whether if it's 35% over here is white and the 8% is over there. If it wasn't that difficult to get a job, I always ask myself, thank you guys for tapping the emojis things, appreciate it, that why did they even design it? Why was it ever created? Whether if this company, had to hire, 3% of black to meet the quota. Why was there ever a quota even designed, right? Then he spoke on the fact that he spoke on his opinion. I'm not going to call it a fact that, what was it about the airline? He says that, he would question whether if he was boarding a plane, that if the flight was going to be successful or was wrong. Now that one there, it bothered me maybe an ounce, right? Because I know about 2 3 months ago I was sitting up, and every now and then I'll find a subject to kind of indulge in, and I'll click on it. So I clicked on stewardess, um, flight attendants. I'm clicking on that, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching, right, where they were talking about the flight attendant who, how they go to school, and all of the policy and the guidelines and things of sort like that. Do y'all know that the majority of these flight, what do you call it? I can't even think of the damn, because my mind just went blank. Right. What's the name of the man that flies a plane? I forgot. The flight. I don't even know why I can't even think of it. My mind literally just went freaking blank. Oh my God. Right. So that there was a very high percentage of the flight attendant, the captain, right? Thank you, Serena. I'm so glad you popped out. My mind literally went on a brain fart. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just exhausted today. I don't know why. I think I stayed up too late, but thank you, and I appreciate it. I like people in the chat like that can help me find that word that I just lost, because I sure lost it. Okay, so, right, and then you pour that up, and the percentile rate for captains that are flying these airlines out here, right? Most of them were under the influence of alcohol, and you should see the qualifications, because the airline flights was so much in desperate need for the captains to fly these planes, right? They were hiring pretty much anybody also. So I get what he's saying, right? But he also emphasized it very strongly in his word, in his choice of word that he chose to use, and send his message out on a black captain. And so there was some things I was like, no, that's not true. I watched a whole documentary, and in this documentary, they were suspending, like, for 30 days, right? A bunch of white captains that were intoxicated, under the influence, and was unable to fly these planes. But I also grasped out of his message that the qualifications of hiring people, the standards to hire people has lowered, so I understood that. But however, well, that was caused by the COVID, though, right? A lot of people lost their jobs, so they had to bring people in who they felt was qualified to fly these flights. But also, they were flying these flights, under the influence. So I understood that. But when he went to emphasize the things about, well, oh, I hope, I'm safe on this plane because there's a black pilot, a black captain that is flying this plane. That one right there, what's going on, yo, dude? That one right there, I was like, no, no, no. So, but I took it with stride, right? Because I'm thinking, okay, if this is how you have to send your message out when you are in a debate, to have a agree to disagree, and also to elevate yourself in that media area where you're poking a bear like that, to get the response or get a rebuttal or a rhetorical question back to you, then okay, so be it. Because that's kind of what I grasped out of that. How do we kick off an agree to disagree argument so that someone can prove you wrong, or challenge you at your truth, basically, right? Oh, I'm just going to throw something out here in the thin air and get emotionals in a rage. And he did that. He did that with the guy that he was debating against, right? And I was like, and the guy, truthfully, was really trying to stand on his research, his truth, and his facts. But however, when you're bigger in finance, in being vocally, or bigger in probably a little bit more research than the other, then you're going to show it by bolstering. So as the guy was trying to put out his facts according to his research, you'll find Charlie Kirk, kind of blocking his answer, or as the contestant, I would say that the contestant is pointing out his view, pointing out his fact, pointing out where he got his research from, his stats and everything like that. Because Charlie Kirk is so swift and fast with it, he's already now thinking of his he already has five more questions developed in his head that he's either going to distract you from your answer, uh-huh, or he's moved on, to the next question, kind of same subject, the whole narrative subject, but he'll move on, but so will the contestant too, When I go and I watch a whole lot of these clips, I kept saying, because like I said, I remember watching this a long time ago when that circle of college students were developing, right? And and on his show, it would be so funny though, you know, he would piss a whole lot of people off because, you know, once you do a thorough research and everything, you hold on to those truths, and you want nothing but what your research have led you to be your truth, so that you are able to take a stance and put that out. When I go back now to watch, now that this is part of what's out here in the main media streaming, right? It was like that. It's edited. Everything is freaking edited and edited and edited. Because I saw three shorts and I was like, oh, well, wait a minute. Why did they cut her question off? Why did they cut her argument off? Why is it just Charlie in these? So now it's like, okay, I get it. It's part of media. The focal point was about how well he was doing in his arguments on social and political and economic, so okay, fine, so they cut the other person out and you really don't get to hear the full detailing or the full argument and the full answers to both parties. So I think that was when I was like, okay, I think I kind of fell back, off of it, because I like to hear it all, especially if it's something that I'm interested in. So then now I can be over here like, oh, let me pull that up. I didn't know that. Oh, let me pull that up. I didn't know that, but And a lot of his shorts, you just can't do that because you're missing the entire agree to disagree debate. So that was what time is it? 3:30. So I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot of people that is choosing now to, just capitalize off of it. Slavery is nothing new. As I go on, and revisit history, I still find the same findings. Like literally everybody, ethnicity, race, or whatever, went through some type of slavery. So now is a question lies on, who went through it the worst. I don't know. Everybody's been through it. But back to his message. Yeah, we've been through it, but now what do we do to move on from it? You're going to have those people that is just unable to do so, and those are the people that actually endured quite a bit. It physically, like they've been through it. You got the other half of the population out here that just hasn't suffered through it, but we are expounding off of history feelings. Oh, this affected my great great grandmother, and blah, blah. So those are some traits, and they'll carry it on. DNA is strong either than by through blood. Yeah, it's DNA is strong even through the mental process of you being related to someone. Shit is crazy, right? So you have that part. Then you have the other people that is just, choose to ignore it all along because half of that populated people have become successful, doesn't bother them, doesn't affect them, or they're halfway there, or they just, live in life and it's like it just doesn't bother them. When I do go back and try to watch some of the history that was played, that was done, this morning I went back to, I don't know what made me do it, but I did it. And I was like, let me go and revisit Malcolm X documentary, right? And then to come to find out, the more I keep revisiting it, the more I learn. I did not know that, and it's crazy, 'cause, I call me crazy if you want to. Maybe, I don't know, I don't care. But I did not know that at some point, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, yeah, I didn't know that they had a indifference, I did not know. So, what was their indifference? You had Malcolm X, who believed that, of course, not to trust and believe in the white culture, or white people, or things taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? But then you had Martin Luther King, who was preaching totally opposite of what Malcolm X was out here advocating for and doing his preaching and things, right? And so at the near end of both of their lives, they join unity and brotherhood because Malcolm X took this one trip somewhere over in the sand. I don't know all them damn countries and stuff, right? Like that, right? To remember. And he sat down and he realized that he was able to sit amongst a whole bunch of different race of people. And all this time he thought that, these different races of people were the enemies, were the ones that was, desperately to cut blood and eat you and chew you and spit you out. Well, you end up finding out differently, right? And I say that to say this, that, yes, we are cut differently. We are, different in the skin color. And yes, it would not be norm to trust every freaking body, but can there be unity in the world? Absolutely. Absolutely, to a certain extent. It's what's going on now, whether if it was Charlie Kirk's message or Malcolm X's message or Martin Luther King message or any other president's messages right now. It's not going to change the fact. This has left us in a situation where the only thing that we can do is keep praying about it, because I believe what's going to happen. is just going to happen. We're going to lose some people by criminal activity. We're going to continue to go through the R word. It's going. You're still gonna have people robbing your store, breaking in your house. You're still gonna have the gang bangers. You're still gonna have the drug dealers. It's never going to go. So what I do see in the country, is less the reduction in it. Let's they have calmed down. I see this everywhere because other than that, your TV would be lit up. No, I cannot say that. Who's Santa? I don't even know if you hit the like button. You have to hit the like button. So, but other than that, hello, who's Santa? So, it's crazy. No, it's never gonna stop. I don't give a damn who's standing at a podium, who's begging you. Or not. It's never going to end. This is just the world that we live in. How do we get around it? Don't be out there and be involved in it. Don't be out there and be involved in it. Accountability. Go do something with yourselves. Go do something. All the a rump shaking and all of that, everything passes. We always go through this little trend and it lasts for a little while, then it passes on. Then we go through some other things. Then we go through some other things. But it's crazy, But what time is it? I just wanted to come on and say hello and just kind of talk a little bit. I have this headache and I'll get it to go away in a little bit. And I just want to talk. That was pretty much it. So nothing big, nothing major. Um, all I ask for when you do come in is just to subscribe to the channel. That's pretty much it. Um, been around for a while and I'm going to stay around for a while, but I tend to get busy with other things and drift off to another world or so. But I've been watching this. They're looking for the death penalty for this guy. They're saying Tyler, and he's not talking now. And you know what I was thinking though before I get off of here, y'all? Now, y'all do know that it was a family member that reported where Tyler was and whatever. So reported, come pick this. I know him. Here we go right here. That's so they go and get him, right? Do y'all remember that there was a reward of $100,000 out for the arrest for the person who knew who he was from all that televised pictures and stuff, right? Do y'all think that the dad is gonna get that? They're not talking about that, are they? Because I mean, somebody did, which I believe they said was his dad, who's also he's a cop or something like that, right? But you think that he'll get the money? What do y'all think? Y'all can leave those comments below because I know y'all won't be wanting to type in the chat. But I'm just saying, don't forget that $100,000 was out there. Now, let's just hypothetically say that the dad do get the $100,000. And or what about another arrest? Will there be another arrest? I think it's possible. I don't know. I think it's possible because allegedly they said that they have all of this private chat group from the Facebook page, right, where these people kind of knew that Tyler was, preparing and cooking up some demonic behavior stuff, right? So they knew. Now, here's my second question, right? Because they said that the gun was wrapped in a towel. They said they had the DNA from that. They said that they did not even announce out on the first day, because I'm sure they went all up on the rooftop that day, right? That they found a screwdriver and the fingerprints. They got the DNA off of the screwdriver. But they didn't mention that when they first did they news broadcast on this trending story, right? They did not. They mentioned nothing about that. I'm like, oh, so this is like the third or fourth day, and now y'all releasing that you found a screwdriver and the DNA actually match, and then they say that the weapon that was used that was wrapped in a white towel also had the DNA on it. But hello, chat again. Hello, everybody. So, in their report, they're sharing that there's a lot of text messages back, in the group chat, and some people knew that it was, possibly a plan by Tyler, and this is what he's gonna do. I can't quote their words, but he's like, yeah, Kirk is in town, and I'm about to take care of what I want to take care of, right? Okay, so bada boom. They know this in advance. Do y'all think that that should have been reported as soon as that was in that base group private chat? Did y'all hear how y'all need to be writing this stuff down, right? Because they explain to you how they explain to y'all how you will get caught, right? And it won't be immediately. They said if you it takes them some time to get the right credentials and paperwork and all of that stuff together, because to get into your private Facebook chats so that they can see what has been conveying in those chats, right? They might not be able to do it, expeditionally right there, but they will get them, right? So, all about doing it, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, because they are preparing themselves in case you decide to come to the court of law and trial talking about well, they violated your rights. So, I'm just letting y'all know. All of y'all should be right. Just in case you out there crooked, criminal minded, and doing some shit behind the scenes in them Facebook private chats, and they feel like that they need to intrude. Oh yeah, they will intrude. It's just that they gonna do it the right way. So when you bring your defense attorney up in there, your defense attorney could be left standing there with their mouths wide open because they plan on dotting their I's and crossing their T's, on that. I just want to point that out because you'll still have people that will not listen to the messenger, right? And continue to do all of the criminal, stuff that they think that they can get away with. And they're making it quite hard, for you to get away with it, right? So, what's going on, Grandpa? So, I'm saying, gotta write some things down, because as much as we listen, we seem to zoom in on what the hot trending topic is about, and that was about the Charlie Kirk and then the Tyler what's his name, Robinson or whatever, right? So we hear all of that, but we'll miss all them other little details that they putting in your ear out here. They be putting some bugs out here for you. I'm just letting you know, because y'all don't be wanting to pay no attention to that type of stuff. Y'all want to know, well, what size was the bullet and what color was the grass and this or that. Yeah, I bet if you are involved and you do all of that stuff behind the scenes, you need to be listening to that type of stuff too. That's how they be giving y'all all the shit. They give it to y'all, but people still go on and do what they want to do because it's all about a cat and mouse game, right? It's all about cat and mouse. But so y'all need to write that down, and I want to know in the comments, who do you think will claim, or will they still be issuing the $100,000? What then? They ain't talked about that. I'm just letting y'all know now. I done watched it 3, 4 days in a row. Who's gonna get the $100,000 reward? Will the reward go to the family member who turned them in? Which I heard it was the dad. Now, just another hypothetical thought that I'm having, right? And not speculations, it's just a little thought, right? So what if the dad do get the $100,000? Do you think that the dad will use that money? Because that's still his son at the end of the day, right? That's still his son. You think now after they pay him, listen to this shit, y'all. after they pay him $100,000 for turning in his son. He gets to turn around, use the money that they paid him for, which is your tax dollars, right? And to pay for his defense. That shit is crazy, but listen, listen, y'all gonna be out here saying, hold on, that math ain't math. But think about it, that just think about it. Yeah. Somebody should be receiving the $100,000 reward that they put out here. Right? Now, allegedly, which is y'all can go check it out with the who was that, the FBI agent, the one Hispanic guy. He says that um he says that it was a dad, but then he also said that, what is that? I don't know what that is. Oh. He also says that oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. But watch what I say. I don't know nobody knocking on my door. Anywho, you guys, I'm going to promote this wonderful ink pen, share with you guys, and then I'm going to get off of here. This right here is the ink pen called the G27 Pilot right here. Man, this you gotta love this pen. I'm telling y'all, you gotta love this pen. I love this pen. I buy these pens by the boxes. One of the best writing pen I've ever come across right here. Lasts a long time, but the point and the groove to it. Oh my God, y'all! This is the Pilot G207 pen. Grab you some of those. I just threw that out. Yeah, but y'all let me know in the comments what happened to the reward, who's going to claim it, will they give it, will that money that's given to the family member use that money to turn around to pay for Tyler's defense with. I don't know. We'll see though. What about the roommate? What if the roommate claim it? Do you think that maybe after they the roommate, they probably knew that it was going to be a reward or something for his arrest, so maybe Tyler thought about, well, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and then you show him all of this, and then go and claim the reward, and that's for you, baby. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just the two scenarios to think about, though, y'all. Two scenarios to think about. It's possible, but I can't wait to see. And most likely, they'll probably not talk about who the reward went to, right? They probably just threw it out here to see how fast somebody was going to come forward or whatever. But they sure said it, though. They offered $100,000 reward. And guess who came forward and pointed out Tyler? The dad, and then the roommate. I don't know, y'all. Where is the money? That's crazy, right? However, the news has it right now, updated information, that he is not cooperating. So, because he's not cooperating, and which I take it as he's not talking to anybody right now, answering any questions. Now they want to bring in a medical doctor to see if he's dealing with some type of sociopathic breakdown or something like that. Isn't that crazy? Like, because I don't want to talk, yeah. Now, that gives them permission, I guess, to analyze him and see where his mental level is at. I don't know. Isn't that crazy? But keep in mind, though, in the Facebook chat or whatever, hell, seemed that he could talk pretty quick. They were conveying, they were convert, they got messages all up through there. So I don't know how they're gonna, diagnose him with some type of mental, social breakdown or whatever, when clearly he was just fine talking on Facebook. He would he would find there. I'm sure he see his his people every day talking, laughing, giggling, and everything. But because he's now being held with no bond and he won't talk, now you're crazy. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm like, how? How could you? How could you? I don't know. Sum up that. Oh, we better check his mental state on this because he don't talk. He does talk. Talk just fine. He's just not talking to them. I guess maybe he's waiting to get defense, to let the lawyer talk for him. Let the lawyer, even though the lawyer ain't gonna be working for him like that. No, the lawyer is just gonna be there to make sure that he is sentenced accordingly. That's about it. But do y'all think about that though too? Let me ask y'all before I get off here. Do y'all ever think about that when y'all see such? And I know everybody has the right to retain their defense, part of the Constitution. I get that. But do you ever wonder? Because sometimes I wonder, like, how do you go in after you have seen the person yourself, right? Oh, you just passing? Oh, your neighborhood stoner passing out good vibes. Just your friendly neighborhood. Thank you, baby blue. I needed that. I needed that. I have a headache today, baby blue. But I'm leaving work and I just wanted to come on and just have a little chit chat with the internet out here. That's all. But thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your good vibes. And so, but do y'all think about that? Do you think about, because sometimes, and I know that everybody got to have a job. Okay, everybody got to do the work. Everybody got to have that defense, right? There's no way that you should be standing in trial without the defense because mistakes can be made. I get that. But right now, I think from what I'm looking at from my point of view is the only thing that his defense attorney would be standing trial for him or with him on is to make sure that he's received the correct hand down in sentencing or something like that, or recommending if the prosecution decides to give him the death penalty. The defense attorney is going to make sure that everything else has been waived, as far as his mental state and this or that. They're going to send him through all of those different damn tests and blah 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 to make sure that he is competent enough to stand trial. And I don't know though, if he's not saying anything right now, then they probably say that too. I guess he's incompetent. He don't understand what's going on and blah blah blah. So I don't know, but Charlie's Kirk wife got a few people out here in frenzy, because she's decreeing and declaring that the Charlie's Kirk's movement is going to continue on. She says that they did not win, so a lot of people out here is confused about who are they, who are these they people. I don't know. I do not like the fight between a Republican and a Democrat because once you do not side with one or the other, then you are already identified as that. Like, what? Oh, that was a Democrat. What, a Democrat? I don't know. That's the only thing that I've been able to view that people are now accepting to identify a politic. I'm not into politics. I don't. I'm not into it. Okay, I'm not neither side. I'm nowhere. I don't do none of that. None of it. I am, I'm not proud to say that. I do not vote. I'm not proud to say it, but one thing I can say that I choose to use in my defense for not being engaged in this, I think that being in this political race in any shape, form, or fashion of it is demonic. And I've been saying that since I was 18 to my mother. You gonna go down there and vote? I used to be in the kitchen, Mom, I ain't getting in that demon ass race. I'm not doing it. And I feel like that. I will always forever feel like that. And but what I did choose to do was take those 10 commandments. Take those 10 commandments. Thou will not this, thou will not that, and that's what I practice. And Jackson, and that's fine. I take those. I take that. I hear that so much. I am part of the problem. Shit never happens. I find that to be untrue, right? I find that to be untrue. Because if it was going to be glorious, if it was going to be right, if it was supposed to have been this way, we already done been through how many presidents? Then God damn it, why isn't it? Why isn't it? What if I was dead? What if I was dead though, Dennis? See, now this is what I mean about the politics. Because I make a pro-choice, right? That benefits me. Benefits me, right? To not be involved in such a demonic ass shit show that goes on out here. And that's fine, Dennis. Oh, let me ask you though, Dennis. If I choose to vote, who would you want me to vote for? Democrat or Republican? And I'm going to tell you why after you answer that. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, they both goddamn suck. Because they can't agree on shit to make America fucking great. If I go over here to the Democrats, my taxes up, the milk is up. If I go over here to the Republican race over here, they full of shit too. Show me somebody who ain't full of shit. Show me. And I will goddamn it vote. I will. So you tell me, who do you think that I should vote for? Who do you think? Because I do my research. I read the backgrounds of these politicians. I didn't listen. I done followed Trump all the way from his first goddamn presidency. I done followed Hillary Clinton. I done followed Biden. I done followed all. And you show me one and you tell me one that they ain't just as corrupt as the goddamn people walking in these goddamn streets. Tell me one. So when they stop the goddamn corruption, like I told my mother, I will change my mind and become part of what's good for the country. But I ain't following no motherfuckers that's bad and do terrible shit to continue to hurt humanity in this goddamn country. So you tell me, who is it that you think that I should vote for? Tell me who. Oh, okay. So let me write the name down. But see, that's not in my region. That's not in my district. So, but you see how I am? And you can educate me too. But don't clown on me for my pro-choice and understand my reasons also. I don't believe in touching dirt. I don't believe in touching. You know why? It's just my belief, though, Dennis. I believe that shit like that comes back on a spiritual in the spiritual lifestyle. I do. I really do. So I feel like if I'm following the 10 Commandments under the spiritual law, baby, I'm staying clear of it. And I'm going to live a very beautiful, wonderful life. I may not ever be rich, but you can trust and believe. Like they say, wait a minute, because I'm writing his name down. Mundana from New York. But you teach me too. You tell me your reasons why I think. And like I say, I work around a whole lot of people. They stay on my ass. They stay on me. Pap, you gotta vote this year. Vote the fuck for who? For who? Dennis, let me tell you this, under the Trump administration, right? I was a little bit happy. He says that the taxes would be going down. Now, it did go down, Dennis. Listen here. I'm right now 27 years in my position where I'm at, right? My taxes finally went down. They did, Dennis. I was like, oh my God. Okay, I'm taking home about, $500-600 more dollars. I was geeked. That almost persuaded me, Dennis, for in case Next election, he stood on his word. You know why? Because me having more money in my pocket benefited me. Now I could pay this off early. I could pay my home off. That's just my ideology way of thinking, right? Oh my God, I'm supposed to pay my baby college off. I'm supposed to do all of that. Dennis, tell me why. Tell me why. This is just now, what is this week? September, August. At the end of July, going into August, right? So I go and I look at my pay stub, Dennis. That motherfucker done skyrocketed right back up. So now, either I must have missed something, or it was just a temporary phase that we was going through, or I've been hoaxed. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm asking you though, Dennis, which one is it? Because baby, I promise you, what it was, it still is. So it happened for a minute. And you know when all of that happened? When he was doing that preaching to get the elected votes. Oh yeah. Now he got in there. It lasted for a minute. I was happy. Now what? I'm right back where the hell I've started at. Yeah, you know what else I learned though, Dennis? I didn't even know about because I was watching. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the President book of Secret Service or documentary, right? Oh, awesome documentary. A lot of shit I ain't know, right? And I'm like, I'm up in this age. Maybe because I didn't care. It wasn't my fight. It doesn't, so a lot of stuff I was out here like oblivious to it. I didn't care. I sincerely, Dennis, baby, when I tell you, I didn't care. Hey, honey. And I felt like the less I cared about it, I ain't never had no stress on me about nothing. I didn't think about it. Because it's a person for each fight. So if that's your fight, go fight. If that's your fight, go fight. So I never got involved in it. That's their fight over there. You know what I'm saying? But Dennis, tell me why in this documentary, you gotta check it out if you ain't seen it. It's really, really good. I didn't know nothing about what is it, black bunk or black something. Do you know that this like a secret ass fund that I'm getting my stuff because I'm headed out of here, so don't mind the noise. Sorry about the noise. But they do you know that they secretly, I didn't know that. Nobody knows how much is in there. It's called a black bunk, a bunk, a black. So this is where money is being held that they need, to keep up and take care of militant weapons and stuff, right? This whole underground thing, but they got a whole separate ass fucking underground freaking bank or some shit going on. And guess what? The money come from your taxes. And granted, I get that, right? But Dennis, when I was little, we used to go on the little field trips, right? And I was learning how, okay, they make paper out of trees, right? And, and don't laugh at me though, Dennis, because I know it don't work like that in the real world, okay? I know, but mind you, I must have been 8, 9, or 10. And I used to ask my mom, right? I'm like, oh, we go on this little field trip and we watch it. Did I get my keys, y'all? Please say I got my keys, because I don't feel like walking all the way back. Let me check and see. I might have to walk back to the office and get my keys. But Dennis, so we do this field trip, right? So I was like, oh wow, okay. They make paper out of tree, from the tree cut, right? Oh, I used to grow up thinking, man, it shouldn't be nobody. Oh, I got my keys. It shouldn't be nobody broke in the world, right? Because, okay, you just call the government, pick a tree out, right? Wouldn't that be the wonderful freaking world? But you only allow, to have probably 1 tree or 2 tree a month, certain size or whatever, and they cut it down and they take it over there to the World Printing Center or the bank or whatever, and they print you out some money. Ain't that crazy? And I used to say, well, Mom, I don't know, why is everybody broke? They can make the money, they cut all these trees, and then the money is circulating in the freaking country, in the world. Like, what the fuck? Dennis, I promise you, I used to be like, okay, what's the problem? Why is there a money problem? So now that I'm learning, okay, it can only be so much money here for this or this or that. And then, Dennis, you turn around, I'm older now, right? So they start playing this movie. This movie had Queen Latifah, I forget the other lady name in it, right? So I'm watching that, right? And I'm like, okay, they went to work at this bank. And then they got these cases, crates of freaking money that's old that they're trying to take out of the circulation and stuff, and they burning this money. They getting rid of this money, right? And I'm thinking, well, wait, what the hell? So then that became confusing to me too, So I don't know. It's just crazy about the two main things that we argue about out here, and that's money and race. And it's insanely crazy to me. It is. And I be sitting over here like, man, I could fix all of this, all these damn problems. It seems so simple, but it's like they make it so difficult. It doesn't seem so difficult to fix. That's the crazy shit about it. It's like, what the fuck is going on around here? Then you got your different regions with your different governors and your different senators and your different mayors, and the shit just all damn confused, and everybody is discombobulated and shit. And I'm like, why in the hell would I want any type of involvement in this type of shit? That's all I'm saying. Why? Yes, maybe one day I will become a part of what everybody is a part of, but right now, man, if this ain't some alien ass shit, I don't know what it is. I can't do that. Something is telling me like this is not what God wants from me. Was I astoundedly happy about, oh my God, okay, women can vote now. Yes, I'm always happy for good things that is being done. But I also know that in doing so, there's always something unbalanced about it. You either gonna have to give in order to get it. So as they were writing this stuff into law, after they realized that putting Rosa Parks into the back of the bus and killing Emmett Till, okay, well, let's change some things. But see, I'm not stupid. I do know for a fact, because of what I see and what I hear, they will only feed you just a little teaspoon or something, because they're going to continue to keep the tablespoon. And when they went and signed that law for women to start voting and getting into the work lane like men do, they already knew, because they done wore down pretty much all of the damn men. Men have been psychologically so fucked up before women because of the beatings, I'm just gonna say history of it, right? They already knew that they wasn't gonna survive this hundreds of years out here in this workforce like that. They had to bring the women aboard now. Let them vote, let them work. You know why? Because there started to be a reduction in the populated world of people working. And if they have that type of reduction out here, then how in the hell is the government still going to survive, and they're not working people to make the money to keep all of this tariff and taxes and all this shit circulating? So this shit is all systematically a freaking game plan. I just want to live up under my 10 commandments in a spiritual way and get out the way, and then go home to glory whenever it's my time with no stress at all. I wish I would ever be out here arguing about because somebody is opposing this, or you on this, or you can look at me and because I got an afro on my head that I'm a Republican or a Democrat. What in the fuck? I'm like, so how do we start identifying under that pretense? Who does that? But unfortunately, they did find out, you know, when it comes to Tyler, that his dad, I guess, Republican, and he was, you know, emphasizing or you know, infiltrating or whatever, probably posing as a Democrat, to come to find out that he was a freaking Republican. But how is it that being identified under those two political stances makes you such a person? I don't understand that. That's just a title. It's just a title. But this is what all your moral beliefs and your values are, so you ain't no good. Well, if you rock with them, then you ain't no good. If you rock with them, this shit is worse than the goddamn vice lords and the disciples. What the fuck? But we mad about the gangbangers. You get mad about them. Mad as fuck about gangbangers. But your Republicans and your Democrats are freaking gangbangers. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? But that's just how I feel about the situation overall, you know, and it is what it is.